Greetings, everyone. This is Joanna. Just making sure it's recording. Thank you, everyone, for joining us in the Sacred Corner this morning. Thank you, and we're so excited. Today, we wanted to create a really quick sacred co-creation, sacred offering from the heart and soul of all that I am in divine remembrance to share not only the divine gifts that each and every one of us are blessed with, and to inspire that once again within each and every one of us that so desire. Those that connect with us are drawn to us for a vibrational offering, for a vibrational remembrance of who you are as divine omnipresence. The holiest and highest frequency of all that you are is divine sacred light, and to celebrate it. So that's what we wanted to talk about today, was the celebration of love. The celebration of all that you are is joy. The celebration of all that you are is source in all moments. To really walk forward in that joy and in that bliss, that in all moments that you walk within the center of your own light, the center of the love that you are as source, then you're walking with that full knowing and alchemic constancy. You're constantly alchemizing your reality from that knowing that you're source and you're here to create a source, that you're joyful in your birthing, that each and every one of you are meant to be here. You're meant to be of celebration of who you are. You're meant to be in that moment of releasing of what no longer honors you, the you that you are. And this morning when I woke up with a memory from a long time ago, from my teenage years. And I remember being at this party after work one day, and we were all working, and there would be, parties, after, just before paydays, when I would go to this party, and I was thinking that, there was a part of me that felt invisible. There was a part of me for much of my life, and these are the many lifetimes that I've come to heal and really be in celebration of now, because I see that those aspects of me that were, in perspective, and I was reflecting upon everybody, and I remember that just that flashback of just perceiving and observing everything, and it felt as if, I've felt that invisible part of me that is now ready to say it doesn't belong to me anymore. I choose not to carry that belief with me anymore. And I'm meant to be seen, and I'm meant to be heard. And I'm a proud owner of who I am in love. I'm a proud celebration of love. Not knowing it at the time, but I always, from an early, those that have read our books and our offerings, I knew from a very early age that I was very integrally connected and threaded with all things, all nature. And I would muse, for hours about any one thing, and I would just ponder, and I would expand upon that one thought. Quite different from perhaps many that were around me, but that's okay. I appreciate that. I was meant to come forward and perceive things from a whole perspective, so that in this moment of now, as I'm 50 and I'm reawakening and rebirthing into my creative bliss, to know that all served a delicate process for me to come forward as the ray of the heavens, as each and every one of us are, to come forward and share who we are as source, to be that blissful song of source, to be that song of our life, to sing who we are, the essence of love, through the song of God, through the song of source, creator, spirit, the holy universe, the master of all things, the elegance that is that, within our DNA, many of the scientists have been unable to explain the consciousness that is there, which is source creator. And it's been termed and named junk DNA, which it's absolutely not, because it's that part that is not understood as source creator, the elegant design of all creation. And as we align and raise our vibration, we're allowing ourselves to become all that is previously unknown. And that's why we have these flashbacks, to allow us to see, okay, well, that was previously unknown, that I felt invisible and not honored or valued or respected for the person that I was, and the various beliefs and the intricacies and idiosyncrasies that I had held. But it's also allowing me to, on the other side of that, because if it's not a reflection of my life's review, how have I held those same reflections of others and not honored them in unconditional love and faith for the sacred song that they are, regardless of if it's in alignment of my personal beliefs, if you will. And this is where each and every one of us within our earth creation and foundation right now are being offered this dynamic perspective to truly allow unconditionally every soul's journey to unfold in however it may, to its own sacredness of its own song, and have it be okay that there will be those moments of disorientation, of trying to be diplomatic in working things out and working things through, because we're all working at so many different vibrations. And so how can we align as a new collective that are harmonizing so many different variations of vibrations? And how can we do it from that highest perspective of honoring the song of every soul, honoring that every soul has come with a unique plan of creative abilities, of creative perspectives, of creative stories, of the beauty and the infinite perspective that Source has within each and every one of us. Just as a song that moves through creation, it has and holds so many different fabrics and notes and geometry and color. And that's through each and every one of us in our offering of authentic truth of who we are. That beauty of sacred song, that beauty of sacred, undeniable oneness as Source. And that's what I wanted to offer. How can we move about in honoring and the musing reflection that we can offer in the celebration and the claiming and the acknowledgement of who we each are as Source, the song of love, and celebrate it. In that celebration, we're allowing our soul to come forward through the clearing and cleansing of all that we are as a multidimensional being and say, I honor my gifts, I honor my truth now. I can stand in this rebirth moment, and I can truly allow all others their unique perspective and rebirth, and be that compassionate mirror to reflect to them that they are perfect in all moments. They are God, they're Source, they're Creator, they're the all that is, the omnipresent, that undeniable, unexplainable experience that is the intelligent design of our multiverse. That is from that core essence, living in that truth, living in that sacred song. You allow all of the fields that you're co-creating within to be that magic, to be that elegant of intelligent design that you are. And it's through that allowance of yourself to be completely authentic and true for who you are as a creative, expressive being of holy light. And the holy vibration comes in many, when people often, because this happened to me too when I was beginning recording and sharing the truths of the heavens and the many heavenly councils and the beings that I come with in my expression of my soul story, with the vibrations that I carry through all of my Akash. Because as I'm raising my vibration, I'm not going into a higher vibrational channel, if you will. I surrender to my higher self and my soul, and it just comes out. So all of these higher vibrational wisdoms and offerings are coming from that of my allowance of just being me. And that's living as a soulful being, as we've talked about and written about in many of our offerings. You're not necessarily having to go in that higher vibrational channel anymore. You're just allowing yourself to be all that you are. And that comes with much clearing, and that comes through the processes that we've written about over the years. But in that higher vibrational allowance, and in that that truth, that center of truth of who you are as holy, the vibration of holy and the words that we've often used, we're bringing it forward again for our evolutionary potentiation to be used from a higher vibrational perspective. Because oftentimes when I've gone back and I've heard some of the recordings and some of the teachings that we've offered and some of the offerings that we've put forward, some words, because they've been used in such strict formality and vibrations of that people's innate systems just kind of get set back, and that's normal. That's a normal process, and this is why our offerings are vibrational, because it allows you to say, well, where did I feel that, that, because we've come with all of our Akashic frequencies. So sometimes if you've had a lifetime that was very, you say you were a monk, or say that you were a certain sect of religion, when certain words are used, it would put that energy, that psyche template would trigger. And you would come forward with a belief that needs to be transcended, expanded upon, or loved, and honored and expressed. So, I mean, various other things too, but I'm just giving you the experience. And why we feel certain things that we do in our society right now is everything is being dismantled and brought forward in a potentiation to be rewritten. So what's really, really key and exciting now is that we look at it from this highest perspective and say, those triggers that we each and every one of us move through, because those triggers are those fundamental center points for us to say, how can I look at this in the most expansive, loving, authentic soul song of who I am, to be the most expansive allowance and honoring of every soul within it for the greater good. That's altruistic, where we're looking after one another in the highest potentiation So understand that those triggers, for all of those that are in those new beginnings, to rewrite the family dynamic, to rewrite the honoring of your soul, to rewrite your creative expression of your soul, to rewrite systems that you might be involved with. How can we go forward and look at it from the highest perspective that it serves the all, and understand that when you get triggered, then how can that trigger be brought in for that platform of your highest consciousness evolution? To say that, well, why was I triggered with that word holy, or that word salvation, or that word, whatever these words are, they're very steeped within our collective and our DNA and all that we are as multidimensional beings, because those have been the systems of control and oftentimes misunderstood into the vibration of infinite potentiality as spirit. So holiness, from what I've received and from how I feel it to be, is the most pure center of who you are as light. And that's holy. That means that you are absolutely living within your holiness of your truth. That regardless of what's going on the outside, that you can remain in that holy light of being accepting and honoring and understanding of what's going on for the higher perspective of every soul's unfolding. And so that's really exciting, so that we can all understand those moments that we get triggered are those moments that we call in and drop to our center, and the soul comes forward and says, this is why you were triggered, because you're being offered an opportunity to see it from its highest perspective for your own soul's growth. Because that's the soul's evolution. The soul wants to evolve. The soul wants to sing your unique song. So thank you. So celebrate who you are. Go forward in your joy. Go forward in your light of who you are. And in your authentic truth, you can create those 5D fields of love. You can create your body cell by cell, atom through atom, knowing that you are the consciousness, you are the threading of source. You are the threading of miracles. You are the threading of joy. You are the threading of all that is, your universality to come through and live through your soul center and live through you, so that you're co-creating a magical moment every moment. So call in majesty, call in delight, call in who you are as source, and know that every moment you do, you're fanning it out to the collective, and the collective is served through your joy and through your bliss and through your sacred song of you. So know that that is your birthright. And we celebrate you, and we want to remind you in every way that we are able that you are divine sacred seed, that you are divine sacred love, that in every way and in every moment that you are heavenly light. And we wanted to pull an angel card and finish off with a sacred song. That's beautiful. It's have faith. Trust your faith in any situation that you are, again, sown with source. And this is what I was talking with my teams tomorrow, and we'll go with the bottom one too. This morning when I had that memory, is that because things are changing and I'm releasing these as they come up, it's having that faith that you're a source in every moment. There's nothing to fear. Now you're seeing things from the highest perspective, that you're meant to be seen. You're meant to share your wisdoms. You're meant to come forward and sing your truth, as every individual is. So allow their path as well, without judgment. And allow that fluidic moment of unconditional allowance that there is a divine intelligence, that there is a divine plan. And from that pure intention of you living you, all is perfect. All is well. And this is just the dropping back, oh, I don't have to figure it all out. That's where the ego mind gets involved, right? And you're just living from this beautiful, soulful space. It's all perfect. It's all heavenly. It's all beautiful. It's all dynamic. And it says, look to your inner strength was the one on the bottom. And your inner strength is just knowing that whatever is unfolding, that you are stronger than you understand yourself to be, because allow yourself and give yourself permission and the acknowledgement that I am a universal, omnipresent being. I am the intelligent design. There's nothing within us that is junk. Nothing within the universe that is junk. It's only from the perspective that it's seen as, that it's described or I defined it. Anything that is source would be junk. And it's just, again, how our words and our limitations bind us into frequencies that no longer serve. So how can we change that? Each and every one of us, we are sovereign. Each and every one of us have the ability to choose how we get to define our reality, how we get to perceive. And it's okay that it still will be perceived as junk. It's still okay. That's a beauty in that too. So this is where we're raising our vibration to say, you know what, it's all beautiful, it's all good, but we are divine sovereign beings, and each and every one of us have that celebration to say, I'm going to choose to define all that I am as magical and majestic. I want to call in that magic. I want to call in my gifts from the universe. I want to call in that DNA activation so that I can heal, so that I can bring light and song to the earth, so that I can see these gardens of love raised before my eyes, because I'm worthy of it. I can do that now. And we understand, we get to that point because that strength comes to us from all of those moments and those exercises and those experiences of feeling less than or invisible. And then getting to reclaim it, like we said yesterday, you know, that that sovereignty comes when you move through those experiences to say, I can let that go. It doesn't serve me anymore. Or what came to me this morning was, this doesn't belong to me anymore. That belief, no, I don't have to hold that. I can release it. And so allowing those moments of clearing to choose what belongs to you and what doesn't. Those were perspectives I held, and those visions and those flashes showed me that there was something within my body, my DNA, my fields that felt invisible. Because those energies at the core center of who you are still co-created. If you feel invisible, not heard, not valued for your creative expression, not valued for who you are as a source of soul, and one of my passions is to come and inspire a whole new creative excitement for all children, for all humanity, so that we truly value and honor who we are as source, that we love who we are as source, that we celebrate who we are as source. And that's part of our creation of this divine corner. So that we understand that in the very crucible of all that is, we see our highest potentiation. We see that all that we have been, and how can we raise it to a new vibration and honor it, honor the path of all that was, honor the path of all that we are in creation, because that's that open flow. We can't flow the universal energies through us if we're denying or damning us or feeling invisible, because we're just going to create from those frequencies. And then those frequencies will show you from that heightened state that because you're now aware of it and you're now awake, well, I'm not feeling valued and honored here, so I'm going to come forward, I'm going to talk about this. How can I feel valued and honored? I show my value and honor to you. Can you show this to me in reciprocation? And then those opening communications can be had, because there will be those fanning out and those sifting out of vibrations and frequencies, where there'll be others that want to explore another soul path and not be on that reciprocation journey with you. And that's okay. So that's that honor and reciprocation, and always moving within that honor and respect of every soul's journey, because they were the ones that brought that mirror to you, for you to stand in your truth and say, I get it now. I do have to honor myself. I do honor myself, and I love myself now. This is now what I want. And that's okay. Moment for moment, we're harmonizing into greater love. So that's beautiful. And so we wanted to honor in celebration these tones and these sacred sounds for the Christ Collective and the Elohim and the Creator Gods and all that is the highest benevolent light programs, the Councils of Light, the Galactic Federations, and all of those souls listening now in future now moments to receive the highest activations and the highest smoothing out, so that they activate the celebration of who they are as source creators, so that they activate the celebration of the love of who they are as source, so that each and every one of us walk in celebration of who we are as love. And every moment we can honor, and we can bring up and facilitate and co-create from that that natural beginning of who we are as love flowing. And every time I activate, when I call in the teams, I'm automatically clearing my bodies, because my bodies are just so used to this process that it's just clearing itself without me calling in the clearing. So that's just showing you and giving you examples of how daily clearing and daily self-care, your body just interacts with the cells. So that's that divine showing. When you talk to your cells and when you're calling in your teams and using your voice as your tool and your mechanism to turn yourself on to source, to spirit, to the universe, things will just move through you. Because your intention, I intend to call my teams in, I intend to be the universal love, I intend to walk as source, and my body's getting rid of what no longer serves. So it's just automatically clearing it. And so allow yourself just to sit with a beautiful, divine, and sacred open heart. We call in the highest beings of holy light. And the space within the center of who we are is our soul. The space within us, we're calling our souls forward, we're calling our higher selves forward. And we're moving with the elegance that is the Holy Mother, the Holy Father, the highest holy energies of all that we are, being within the center of our light, the center of our purity, the center of our acknowledgement and our acceptance of who we are. Accepting all that we are as love, accepting all that we are as the joyful song of source, and each and every one of us is that unique note. And we thank you, and we thank all that is love. We thank all that is the purity of intention. We thank all that is that pure alchemic frequency that allows our realities to shift. And in pure gratitude, our hearts open to the angelic frequency that is appreciation, that is bliss, that is joy, and is pure love for all of creation. Hwaya na ka te e. Hoya na te sia ka te e shi e te ki a. Ha i tia sia ka na ka e te shia ka. Hwa na te ki e sia te ki e a. Ha na hik te a shama a te ki e a. Hia ma te ke te mba te ke ba te ke a. Hwa a te shipaka ana e sia te ke shi a. Hwama te sia aka te sia ka. Hwama te ke. Hwama te ke. Hwama te ke. Hwama te ke. Hama sia te ke te shama te sia te ke na ka. Hwana. Hwana. Hama te ke te shama ka. Hatna ka sia te ka ama. Hwa te ke shia na ka te e. Hwa na sia ka. Thank you, dear loved ones. And they were showing me a beautiful oceanic symbol, and the sunrise, the different colors of the sunrise, that was coming in as the sun was rising off the ocean. And then they were showing me when I was going like that was the earth rumbling, the changes of the earth that were rumbling. So they were showing me these myriad landscapes and these myriad versions of different landscapes, and how all is the divine orchestration of our consciousness moving and changing and shifting. So there will always be that beauty, there will always be the friction and the shifting and the changing because of our frequencies. And for us to hold the perfection within every moment of it, not to, as our ego minds have all experienced, we've all experienced this through these changes of the last 6 months. The ego and the bodies, because of our eons of Akashic experiencing, will move through those moments of fear of the unknown. You know, what will unfold next, the safety of income, and all of those things we've all experienced emotionally. So allow that to be its perfect moment to the transition of the new, of that sunrise. That is that perfection of all colors that have now been smoothed out to that higher vibratory frequency. So there will be that shifting and shaking for us to allow the processing of it, to honor and accept the processing of it. And in that acceptance and allowance, we see that beautiful colors that are being reflected to us, because we're moving into it with that we have created this as a collective. And it's also connecting with the galactic energies and the galactic all that we're now transmuting, as we've said in many of our offerings. We are all harmonizing from 3 to 5D. So there's many galactic and universal energies that are all being unplayed, playing out, if you will, in this now moment. So how can we allow the ego to just take a rest, the mind to take a rest, to say that these shifts and these shakes that we feel beneath our feet, to just release. Anytime a fear comes up about income, release it. All is perfect. I'm calling in this perfection of new income, and all will be looked after. When you're in your center of your holiness, your center of your sourceness, you will call in exactly what is needed, and that's that have faith. You have faith that every moment you are connected as the inspiration of that changing picture. You'll have exactly what you need. Your teams, your soul, your higher self will call in exactly what you need. But when we're in those energies of fear and unknowingness or worry and lag, my teams often tell me, because I know I'm going through a major life transition, and they're preparing me as well. That's why I can speak about this so purely. They're now saying that your life can be so simple and profoundly beautiful and elegant, but you're worried because you know that it's not going to be anything like what you've lived before. And that unknown causes you that angst and worry, because those are the memories of your cells and your DNA and your bodies that remember from other lifetimes where those outcomes weren't necessarily that pleasurable. But this time is different. This time, that for each of us, as we so choose, because it's always free will. How do you choose to feel and to see and to vibrate in this new beginning? How can you sing your song and know that all is processing as it should, based on your soul's theme, to let go of fear, to let go of trauma, to let go of what we've known to be loss? That loss is allowing that new color of that horizon to appear. But we can see it, and that's how our words have clamped us down on our perspectives. That loss is also seen as the renewal of new light. And we celebrate that. We really, really do. Everything that we're going through is allowing us to celebrate new light, so that we can create from an altruistic, divine, miraculous perspective, having faith in one another as pure love, allowing our songs to come forward as pure love, to know that all is moving in divine elegance and intelligence from our consciousness. So believe in the consciousness of pure, holy love that you are, knowing that that's your center of rebound where that synchronicities come in, and truly fall in love with your creative expression, fall in love with you, celebrate the song of you. And those are our messages for today. Thank you, dear lighted ones. Namaste.